Hello and welcome back to another week of Sambo iRacing. We are back with another track guide, this time at Oulton Park International, the one with both chicanes in the Ferrari 296 GT3. So it's the Ferrari Challenge edition using the fixed Ferrari Challenge setup. The brake bias is shown on the dashboard. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments and let's start the whole lap. Right, let's do this bad boy. Okay, so we're looking for the last add signs on the left-hand side. We'll brake up to about 60%, drop it down to third, cut the corner, exit nice and wide, keeping our right-hand tyres on the track. Up to fourth gear, looking for the dip in the road here. We'll brake up to about 60%, drop it down to third, hook our tyres over the left-hand rumble strip. Leave it in fourth gear, tiny dab on the brakes, then back on the gas, back over to the left-hand side. I'm braking quite hard, almost up to 90%, all the way down to second gear, brake trail off. Smoothly back on the gas, as you can see, up to third. Leaving it in third, because we're going to drop it down to second here in the first chicane. Now we're looking just after the 100-metre sign. I brake 95% down to second gear, little dab on the brakes, back on the gas. We're just going to lift here through Brooklands. Not Brooklands. Knickerbrook, sorry. For those at Silverstone for a minute. Right, leaving it in fourth gear. On the brakes, down to third gear, back on the gas. I was just a little early and had to confidence lift there. Final braking marker. Just after the turn right sign, all the way down to second gear, smoothly back on the gas, up to third, hug it round to the left hand side and over and across the line in a 132.742. Right, let's do the breakdown lap. Okay, breakdown lap. Try and smash through it as fast as possible. So the first braking marker are those last two ad hoardings on the left hand side. So as you can see, as we get up to them, the one that's Jordan Bikes, we're going to come off the gas, brake up to about 60%. We're going to trail that off, dropping it down to third gear just before we get back on the gas at the apex here. And as you can see, on the apex, I'm at 2/3 power. And then as soon as I straighten that wheel up, I get back up to 100%. We can exit nice and wide here. There's no off track until our right-hand tyres leave the actual track surface. Up to fourth gear. Next braking marker is just before we get into this little dip that we're just coming up to now. So just as we're getting into the dip, I brake up to, again, about 60%, trail that off quite quickly, dropping it down to third gear just before we come off the brakes, and then we get back on the gas nice and early. So when we're at the apex here of turn 3, we're up at about 3/4 pressure. And again, back up to full gas as we exit the corner. Right, island bend. So we're going to do a little dab on the brakes and come off the gas just as we get to this entrance road on the right-hand side. So as you can see here, as we get there, we go up on the brakes up to about 20%, there or thereabouts. Trail it off. I leave it in fourth gear. I get back on the gas here at the apex. So I'm on about 50% pressure. And then once the car is settled, having gone through that little bump, I'm back up to 100%. Next braking marker is just as we get to this last tree on the left-hand side, as you can see here now. It's a lot easier to see in VR. I get on the brakes, again, up to about 85% this time. Why pull that speed off in a straight line? Trail it off as we go down towards the apex. We've dropped it down to second gear. Now we're just waiting for the car to feel right, and then we get back on the gas. Again, in this car, we can't get up to 100% early doors. It's not like the Formula cars that's got a ton of downforce. We've got to wait until the car's settled, and then as we open the steering back up to 100%. Next braking marker, it's kind of hard on this one, but if you can see the little elbow up ahead in the white line, so basically as I get to the left edge of that, so the apex of that is when I'm going to start my brake, and I brake up to about 70%. I can actually give myself a little bit more room on the left here. I trail off down to this second apex, and now I get back on. Now, that was quite a tight, watching it back on the chase cam, that was quite tight to that second tyre wall, so just be careful of that. You don't want to hit that and ruin your race. braking marker into the second chicane is just after the 100-meter sign. So just as we get past that, I brake again up to about 95%, wipe that speed off, drop it down to third, drop it down to second, trail off into the first apex, quick blip on the gas, now a little dab on the brakes, cut it nice and tight over to the left-hand side. We go back on the gas, and then we're just going to do a lift here into Knickerbrook. So just as we start the turn in, do a lift down to nothing, and then we get back on the gas at the apex. And then once we're straightening the wheel out, once again, opening up the wheel means I can get back on 100% gas. Only 2 more braking zones. Right, this next one's kind of tough because there's no sort of overt signage. But again, it's the maximum bow in that line up ahead of us. So as I get there, I brake up to about 60% and again trail it off. I drop it down to third. I get back on the gas at the first apex. And then I do a little lift and then I'm back on the gas. And again, a little lift back up to 100%. So I did go slightly early and then had to come off the gas. Final braking marker is usually for most cars midway between this turn right sign and the marshal's hut, but on this one it's actually a little bit closer to the turn right side, and we brake up to about 75%, wipe that speed off, drop it down to second gear, hook our tires on the inside rumble strip there, and then we're just again waiting to open the steering up to get up to 100%, exit nice and wide, use the rumble strip. And there we have it, that's the breakdown lap. We have one final lap coming up now with the driving line on without me talking. Enjoy.